I think obviously just putting the X beside our name is the most important thing, just getting in. That's our main focus. Where we are seated, not too concerned about it. We can start series on the road, we can start series at home, pretty comfortable either way, but just got to get in.
Something changed inside the Edmonton Oilers locker room, and Connor McDavid just said it out loud. This was not about scoring goals or highlight plays. It was about control structure and a team that suddenly looks different after a 3-1 win over the Chicago Blackhawks. His words pointed to a deeper shift, and what he revealed next started raising serious attention.
5 wins in a row, not a lot of goals going in your own net. What's going on with the strong defensive play?
The goalie's been playing really well. Kill's been good. When you're not giving up one on the kill every night, you give yourself a chance to put some low numbers on the board, and the goalies, have played really well.
The Edmonton Oilers secured a 3-1 victory over the Chicago Blackhawks, extending their winning streak to 5 games. During this stretch, the team reduced goals against and showed more stability in defensive play. This change became clear through both game results and post-game remarks from Connor McDavid, who pointed directly to what was working inside the team. McDavid highlighted goaltending as a major factor. He said, the goalies have been playing really well. That statement reflected consistent performances in net, where fewer goals were allowed across consecutive games. The Oilers did not rely on high scoring in this match. Instead, they controlled the game by limiting mistakes and keeping the opponent chances low. He also explained the role of special teams. McDavid stated, when you're not giving up one on the kill every night, you give yourself a chance to put some low numbers on the board. This showed a direct connection between penalty kill, improvement, and game outcomes. The Oilers avoided giving away easy goals, which helped them maintain control throughout the match. The structure of the game remained steady from start to finish. Edmonton scored early and held their lead without major breakdowns. Defensive pairings stayed organized and transitions were clean. The Blackhawks struggled to create pressure, and most of their chances were limited to low-risk areas. McDavid also placed this performance in a larger context. He compared this stage of the season to previous years. He said, it is easy to make the comparison obviously close to playoff time. This showed that the team understood the timing of their improvement. As the regular season moves toward its final phase, each game carries more weight in the standings. He continued by stressing urgency. McDavid said, these games matter and we are dug in. This reflected a clear shift in focus. The team was not experimenting or adjusting casually. Instead, they were playing with purpose, knowing that each win impacts their position for playoff qualification. Another key point came from team engagement, McDavid explained. You can tell the emotional engagement is there. This pointed to a change inside the group. Players were more active, more focused, and more involved during every shift. That level of engagement often leads to fewer mistakes and stronger overall performance. He also addressed where the team might start a playoff series. McDavid stated, we can start the series on the road, we can start the series at home. This reflected confidence in different environments. The Oilers did not show preference for home ice advantage. Instead, they focused on maintaining consistent performance regardless of location. This mindset matched their recent results. The team played controlled hockey, avoided unnecessary risks, and stayed disciplined in key moments. Their defensive structure remained strong even when the opponent pushed back. That consistency became a defining part of their current run. Another important factor in this stretch was playing without Leon Draisaitl. His absence did not slow the team progress, McDavid explained. It has been a team effort, obviously. This indicated that the Oilers were not relying on one or two players. Instead, they spread responsibility across the lineup. Defensive units played a key role in that shift, McDavid said. RD have played really, really well. This referred to strong performances from multiple pairings who maintained positioning and reduced breakdowns. Their ability to control space limited scoring chances from opponents. He also highlighted specific consistency within defensive lines. McDavid mentioned that certain pairings had been as solid as we have had. This showed stability in a part of the game that often decides close matches. Strong defense allowed the Oilers to protect leads and control tempo. Offensive production also became more balanced, McDavid stated. We are getting scoring from kind of everyone. This reflected a wider contribution from the roster. Goals were not limited to one line, which made the team harder to defend against. At the same time, developing players began to show progress. McDavid spoke about a teammate adjusting to the league. He said, he has obviously figured out the defensive side first. This showed a step-by-step development process where defense came before offensive impact. He added, you can obviously see the offense is starting to come now. This indicated that improvement was already visible during games. Better puck movement and stronger positioning created new scoring chances. One moment in the game also brought attention to officiating decisions. A goal was reviewed and ruled offside. McDavid responded, "I guess because it was offside." He then added, "I do not think anybody understands that rule." This reflected ongoing confusion about how certain calls are made during reviews. Despite that situation, the Oilers maintained control and closed the game without losing momentum. Their structure held, and their defensive focus remained intact until the final moments. As this winning streak continued, the Oilers showed clear signs of change. Strong goaltending, improved defense, balanced scoring, and full team engagement all came together. McDavid words outlined each part of that shift, and as these elements kept building the attention around, this team continued to grow.
You're just about to send your team out onto the ice, and you've got to tell them your boss just got fired. Good luck with that. That situation Craig Berube found himself in last night. To talk about it, here's the coach, Bruce Boudreau. Bruce, you went through a similar scenario in the past. What's that like?
Well, it's not a lot of fun, I can tell you that, and both for the coach and for the players, because A, you don't want to distract them from the game, but B, you start to think, okay, he was my guy. He was the guy I was hanging on to. If he's gone, what's my situation?
Shockwaves hit the Toronto Maple Leafs after a sudden front office move, and within hours, attention shifted straight to the bench. Pressure started building around Craig Berube as reports linked past NHL patterns to what could happen next. Nothing has been confirmed, but the silence from management is raising serious concern, and the situation is still unfolding. The focus around Craig Berube intensified immediately after the management change inside the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. In the NHL, when a general manager leaves or is removed, attention often shifts toward the head coach. This pattern has been observed in multiple teams over recent seasons. The Maple Leafs situation now follows that same structure, and it has placed Berube under direct scrutiny. Recent team performance added to this pressure. The Maple Leafs have recorded mixed results in their last few games. In one match, they secured a 2-1 overtime win against the Anaheim Ducks. Reuters reported, John Tavares nets OT winner, Maple Leafs down Ducks. That result showed the team's ability to close tight games, but it did not remove concerns about consistency. In another game, the Leafs faced a heavy loss against the St. Louis Blues. Reuters stated, Blues stay hot, crush Maple Leafs. The team conceded 6 goals in that match. Defensive breakdowns were visible early in the game. The Blues maintained control throughout, and the Leafs were unable to recover. This result increased discussion around team structure and in-game adjustments. As these results came in, media coverage across Canada began focusing on coaching decisions. Analysts pointed to defensive organization and game management. The combination of a close win and a heavy loss created a mixed performance pattern. This inconsistency became a key topic in discussions about the team's direction. Craig Berube addressed the situation in a recent interview. According to Sportsnet, he said, "It's been my life." The statement referred to his long career in hockey. He acknowledged the uncertainty around his position. Reports noted that he is aware of the pressure but continues to focus on his role. His comments did not indicate any change in status, but they reflected the ongoing situation. The situation around Craig Berube did not slow down after the initial reaction. Instead, discussion expanded across league coverage as analysts compared this case to past NHL decisions. In several teams, a change at the general manager level was followed by a coaching adjustment within a short period. This pattern has been referenced repeatedly in recent reports, and it continues to shape expectations. Berube's coaching record remains part of the conversation. He led the St. Louis Blues to a Stanley Cup in 2019. That achievement is documented as a major milestone in his career. However, current evaluations are focused on present team performance. In professional hockey, past results do not guarantee job security. This standard applies across all teams, and the Maple Leafs are no exception. Attention has also turned toward game structure and execution. In the loss to St. Louis, the Leafs allowed 6 goals. The defensive unit showed gaps in coverage. Early goals changed the pace of the game. The Blues maintained pressure, and the Leafs could not regain control. This match has been used as a reference point in ongoing analysis, and it added to concerns about consistency. At the same time, the overtime win against Anaheim showed a different outcome. The team limited scoring chances and secured a narrow victory. John Tavares scored the deciding goal in overtime. The result confirmed that the team can perform under pressure. However, the contrast between games has remained a central issue in coverage, and it continues to draw attention. Media outlets have maintained focus on Berube's position. Sportsnet reports emphasized his awareness of the situation. His statement, "It's been my life," has been widely cited. It reflects his long-term involvement in hockey, but does not address future decisions. No official confirmation has been provided by team management, and that has kept uncertainty in place. The Maple Leafs schedule adds another layer to this situation. The team is playing games within short intervals. Limited recovery time affects performance and preparation. Each result now carries more weight due to the stage of the season. Analysts have noted that upcoming games could influence internal evaluations, and this has increased focus on immediate outcomes.
Here's William Nylander from today on what he has seen this year and maybe what he thinks has possibly gone wrong with the Leafs.
You look back at it and go, you kind of wish the team had done something different, like it was played different, or I don't know. When you look back at it, do you see the mistakes that as they piled up, kind of?
I mean, I have like my thoughts about maybe some stuff, but I mean that's something I'm going to keep to myself.
Okay. So, yeah, Willie's not going to reveal it, not surprisingly, and I don't think he shouldn't just sit there and start throwing daggers.
Silence can be louder than anything, and William Nylander just proved it in a way no one expected. After a season full of pressure and criticism, he faced the media, and instead of explaining, he gave one cold sentence that instantly spread across the NHL. No details, no emotion, just silence. And now, that silence is raising questions no one can answer. Yet, the moment happened quickly, but it changed the entire conversation around the Toronto Maple Leafs. Reporters asked William Nylander a direct question about the season. It was a normal question. Players are asked this all the time, especially after a difficult stretch. Most players respond with simple answers. They talk about effort, mistakes, or what needs to improve. Nylander did not do that. He paused, stayed calm, and gave a short answer. He said, "Something I'm going to keep to myself." That was the full response. He did not add anything else. He did not explain what he meant. He did not go into details about the team or the season. The interview moved on, but the moment did not. This response quickly became a major talking point across hockey media. According to Sportsnet, Nylander chose not to explain where the season went wrong. The report confirmed that he declined to share his thoughts publicly when asked directly. That choice stood out immediately. Players usually give structured answers in these situations. They often say the team needs to be better or that small mistakes made a big difference. These answers are common. They are expected. Nylander's response did not follow that pattern. It was short, it was controlled, and it gave nothing away. Another report from Toronto Sun also highlighted this moment. The article explained that Nylander clearly has opinions about the season, but decided not to share them. The focus was not on what he said, but on what he chose not to say. That made the moment different. The Maple Leafs have been under heavy pressure. Expectations were high throughout the season. Media coverage has been constant. Players have faced repeated questions about performance, effort, and results. Nylander has been part of that environment. His response came during that pressure. It did not include frustration or anger. His tone stayed neutral, his words stayed limited. But the message was still clear. He was not going to explain his thoughts. That decision created a strong reaction. The reaction to that moment grew quickly, and the focus shifted from the team's performance to Nylander's response itself. Media coverage continued to highlight the same quote. The sentence, "Something I'm going to keep to myself," was repeated across broadcasts and articles. It became the main reference point in discussions about the Toronto Maple Leafs. This level of attention did not come from length or detail. It came from what was missing. According to Sportsnet, Nylander has often handled media in a controlled and private way. He does not regularly share deep internal thoughts in interviews. That pattern helps explain the response, but it does not fully remove the impact of the moment because the situation was different. The question was about a full season. It came during a period when the team was under strong public evaluation. In these moments, players are expected to give insight, even if it is limited. Nylander chose not to provide that insight. That choice became the story. Coverage from Toronto Sun emphasized that Nylander had thoughts on the season but decided not to reveal them. The article did not include any further explanation from him. The original quote remained the only direct comment. No follow-up changed that. Nylander did not expand on his answer in later interviews. He did not clarify what he meant. The single sentence remained unchanged. That consistency kept the focus on the original moment. The absence of detail continued to drive attention. In most interviews, players respond with repeated phrases. They talk about improving, learning, or moving forward. These responses create a predictable pattern. Nylander's response did not fit that pattern. It stood apart because it avoided those phrases completely. That difference increased its visibility. The quote continued to appear in headlines and discussions. Analysts referenced it when talking about the team. The response became part of a larger conversation about media interaction and player communication. But the content of the response never changed. It stayed as one sentence questions delivered once with no addition. That is what kept the moment active in coverage. A single answer, without detail, without expansion, and without revision, remained at the center of attention, and even as the discussion grew, the original message stayed exactly the same. Connor McDavid just hit a number that changes how the NHL looks at him forever. One goal made history, but what happened seconds later shocked everyone watching. The crowd reacted, the bench stood up, and the league took notice. This was not just another milestone. Something bigger was unfolding on the ice, and the full impact was only starting to become clear. Connor McDavid entered the game already, leading as one of the top scorers in the NHL. During the second period, he received the puck in open space and completed a scoring play that marked his 400th career goal. Official NHL records confirm that reaching 400 goals places a player into a rare group. Fewer than 100 players in league history have reached this number, and the pace at which McDavid achieved it drew immediate attention. The goal came during even strength play. There was no power play advantage. Game reports confirm that the Oilers were controlling possession during that shift. McDavid moved through the neutral zone, with speed entered the offensive zone, and finished the play with a clean shot past the goaltender. The moment was quickly confirmed by league tracking systems, and the broadcast displayed the milestone as it happened, but the sequence did not stop there. Shortly after scoring his 400th goal, McDavid scored again. This second goal became number 401. It happened in the same game within a short span of time. Reuters reported Connor McDavid hit the 400-goal milestone and added another as the Oilers secured the win. That update confirmed both goals as part of a single performance, and it shifted the focus from just the milestone to the speed at which he moved beyond it. The Oilers continued to apply offensive pressure after the goals. McDavid remained active in play, contributing to multiple scoring chances. Game summaries show that he recorded more than just goals, as he remained involved in puck movement and offensive setups. His presence on the ice continued to affect the pace of the game, and opposing defenders were forced to adjust their positioning. Career data shows that McDavid has reached every major scoring milestone at a fast rate. Since entering the NHL in 2015, he has consistently produced high numbers each season. He reached 100 goals, then 200, and then 300 in fewer games than many players in the modern era. The 400 goal mark follows the same pattern, and that consistency has been tracked across official league statistics, but this latest moment added a new level to the discussion. McDavid's current total places him among the top active goal scorers in the NHL. Updated league data shows that his scoring rate remains steady across seasons. He has not shown long scoring gaps, and game logs confirm consistent production year after year. This pattern has been a key factor in how quickly he reached 400 goals, and it continues to shape how teams prepare to face him. The Oilers system relies heavily on speed and puck control. McDavid plays a central role in that structure. In the milestone game, his goals follow the same pattern seen throughout his career. He carried the puck through the neutral zone, created space, and finished plays under pressure. Shot data from the game confirms that both goals came from high probability scoring areas, which reflects his ability to position himself effectively during offensive plays. Defensive matchups against McDavid often involve top defensive pairings. Opposing teams attempt to limit his time with the puck by closing gaps early and applying pressure in the neutral zone. Despite these efforts, recent game reports show that he continues to generate scoring chances at a high rate. His speed allows him to move past defenders quickly, and this factor was visible again during the milestone performance. Statistical comparisons place McDavid among the fastest players to reach 400 goals in the salary cap era. Historical data shows that many players who reach this mark go on to surpass 500 goals. Based on current scoring trends and age-related performance models, projections indicate that he remains on pace for higher milestones if production continues at the same level, and that projection has been included in multiple reports following the game. The timing of the milestone also aligns with the later stage of the regular season. Teams are competing for playoff positions, and performance during this period carries added importance. Game results show that the Oilers secured a win during the milestone match, linking individual achievement with team success. This connection has been noted in post-game coverage, as McDavid's scoring directly contributed to the outcome. Broadcast footage confirmed the exact moments of both goals. Commentators acknowledged the milestone in real time, and replays were shown across multiple angles. The sequence of goal number 400, followed quickly by 401, remained a central focus in coverage. This rapid progression changed how the event was viewed, shifting it from a single milestone to a broader performance moment that continued to draw attention after the game ended.
Ottawa Senators fans think they know what the Leafs lacked the most on the ice as they were chanting, "You need Marner, you need Marner," on the weekend. The question is, what do you think the Leafs actually need the most? A right winger for Austin Matthews, a right shot puck moving D-man, or a power play QB, or perhaps a second line center? There's a lot of options there, Cheryl.
They need a right winger for Austin Matthews. Ottawa fans know exactly what the Leafs need. Look, Matthews went from 69 goals to would have been over 40 last year if